Good morning, church. Happy Friday. We are concluding John chapter 8 today, where Jesus is finally going to answer the question, "Who are you?" And this is the question they've been asking Jesus all throughout this chapter. Where are you from? Who do you say that you are? Who are you? And let's just start at verse 54 and read through the end. He says, "If I glorify myself," Jesus answered, "my glory is nothing. My Father, about whom you say he is our God, he is the one who glorifies me. You do not know him, but I know him. If I were to say I don't know him, I would be a liar like you. But I do know him, and I keep his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. He saw it and was glad." The Jews replied, "You aren't 50 years old yet, and you've seen Abraham?" Jesus said to them, "Truly I tell you, before Abraham was, I am." So they picked up stones to throw at him, but Jesus was hidden and went out of the temple. Powerful stuff here, and even some confusing stuff. So we talked yesterday about glorifying God, but Jesus says, here's a clue to who I am. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. He saw it and was glad. How in the world do we read in Genesis and think about any way that Abraham saw Jesus or encountered him or saw the day of Jesus and encountered him and had a time of rejoicing? Well, there's a couple interpretive options here. I'll throw them out to you. Number one could have been a vision. We know that Abraham experienced visions. His family had visions of God, of angels ascending and descending. And so it's possible that we have Jesus talking about a vision that Abraham had. Another option that we have could be in the encounter at Sodom and Gomorrah. The day of the Lord, according to Amos, if you go and read him, is a terrible day, a day of fire and wrath and judgment and justice. And Abraham saw the Lord face to face there. Could have been a pre-incarnate Christ that he spoke with and encountered. And it could be after knowing that Lot was rescued out of Sodom and Gomorrah, that he would have been could have rejoiced at the justice of God. He did barter and try to redeem those people, or at least to get Lot saved. But otherwise, we don't have a very clear depiction of that event other than to say, look, I knew Abraham. I saw him and he saw me. And they said, you're not even 50 years old yet. Jesus probably at this time was 33 years old. And you've seen Abraham? Jesus said to them, "Truly I tell you, before Abraham was, I am." Probably the clearest statement of who is Jesus. This takes us right back to Exodus, the burning bush. "Who should I say sent me?" Moses asked. "Tell them I am sent you. I am who I am." And Jesus says, "Before Abraham was, I am." There is no doubt that Jesus claimed to be the one true God. And the people understand this and they seek to kill him, but they can't. "Who are you?" they kept asking. And when he finally tells them, "I am," they just can't even handle it. So it is in the Christian life. Jesus reveals aspects of his nature, especially when we don't want it. Mercy, on whom he wants to have mercy when we wanted justice. Justice when we would have desired mercy. And it can be upsetting. We can want to reject that. But remember, we are drawn in to accept and to confess and to follow as Lord all of who Jesus is, not just the parts that we find palatable. So remember, who are we reading about? Who is this Jesus? And it goes back to that primary question, who do you say that I am? He asks. And salvation is so much more than accepting Jesus into your heart or confessing him, but it's pursuing him. It's like that. It's that changed life that lives out these realities. And so as we have read this chapter and seen what it looks like for people to reject Jesus, then we can see, what does it look like then for me to walk in the truth that I have submitted to these realities? Well, I love you, church, and we'll talk to you soon again.